Hey, Brandon here with Catalpa Apiary. We're here at the farm today. We're going to check on the hives that we've got here, make sure that everything's good with those. It's been about a week and a half since we've done that, so we want to make sure that the queen is still laying, that the hive frames are being built out nicely, and that we don't need to add another box to the top. In addition, we're going to go around and check on the blackberries and see if they are ready for picking. I noticed a lot of red ones, but we'll see if we got any black ones yet. Come along. All right, we've got our suit on, we've got our gloves on. I'll put my hood on here in a minute. It's quite hot here today. It's a little overcast, but it's about between 80 and 90 degrees. Actually, this weekend we're supposed to get really hot into the mid 90s. So definitely summer here at the farm. All right, we're gonna start out with this box here. This is actually the calmer box, at least has been in the past, so we'll see how they're doing today. I'm going to smoke them a little bit at the entrance here. We're going to take off our weight, take off our top here. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Definitely got lots of bees in here right now. Let me go ahead and smoke them just one more time. Back here. Move that smoke to the back. With these two hives, I'm still going to continue to feed them simply because they're new and there's not a ton of nectar flow right now. We do have some mimosas blooming, some clover, things like that, but there's not a ton of like tree blossoms at this moment. So I still feel like it's best to continue to feed them. You can see how docile these are though. They're just very calm bees. All right, so this is the outermost frame on this side. You can see they've started building out some comb here. Same thing on this side. We're gonna set that to the side now. And let's look at the next frame here. See how things are doing. I always want to be so gentle with them. I hate the idea of killing even one bee while I'm doing an inspection. All right, with this frame here, I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. I'm gonna actually bring it up closer. Look how calm these bees are. Lay my hive tool down so I can kind of show you some stuff. You can see they've been putting nectar in here and they're actually starting to cap this honey. On down a little further, they've got some pollen in there. Look at those right there. I don't know if you can see those or not. They're actually feeding. Sorry about that. If you can see those right there. They're actually feeding each other. So that's probably a brand new bee that's emerged fairly soon, or fairly recently, and they're feeding it. Same thing on this side. They're building out some comb, actually putting some nectar in up there. I probably should have waxed these frames a little more than I did. Kind of regret not doing that because I feel like they would have probably built out a little quicker than what they have. It's okay though. they'll get there. All right. We're gonna be on the search for the queen today because I want to see her. All right. Awesome looking frame here. You've got a little bit of honey up here at the top that they've put in, but look there in the middle. There's lots of capped brood. There's lots of larvae that's in the stages of growing. Some smaller larvae up here at the top. Same thing on this side. We've got all stages of larvae here. So this frame will be full of brood just in the next few days. Capped brood, I should say. Show you something really cool here. I don't know if you can see down in there, but look at those bees hanging together. Hopefully you can see that. All right, we're going to continue on here. Little bees, you got to separate for a second. This frame's looking awesome. Look at this bee right here. She is dancing as a way to tell the other bees where she got her pollen and nectar from. Pretty awesome there. And again, down here in the cells, we've got some eggs that have just recently been laid. On the other side, we've got some larvae there. And eggs as well. Things are looking really good with this hive. I'm going to put this frame here because again, I really want to find that queen today. Simply because I've not been able to show her to you. I want to be able to do that. Let's look at this frame here. Once again, this queen is laying like crazy. We've got capped brood, we got larvae, we got eggs, looking good. All right, Mama, where are you? Same thing here, lots of capped brood, lots of larvae. Not seeing the queen here. This one's got quite a bit of nectar in it, so they're filling out with some honey at the top as well, which is fine. There's our queen. Finally been able to find her. You can see her there. She's got the blue dot on her head. This frame has got quite a bit of honey in it. but it's got quite a bit of eggs down there as well. So she's been laying in those cells. She's doing amazing work. You can see her, she's walking across those cells, probably checking to see if she can find a cell that's empty, or probably just trying to hide from us right now. Here's a bee over here. It's got a little pollen on its hind legs. Nice look at that queen there. This side looks good. Gonna be very gentle here. Let's see, where did she go? She's up there at the top. Do not want to hurt her in any way. All right, this last frame that we're going to check here, it's one of the newer frames. Again, not much built out here, but they're doing their job. I just realized I do not have my hood up, which is quite crazy, but honestly, these bees are being so gentle that I'm not really worried about it. All right, go ahead and push those together. All right, here we are at the next hive. This one has been a little more rowdy in the past. We'll see how that is today. They seem pretty calm right now, so maybe they've kind of settled down. Same as last one, I really want to see the queen, but our main goal is to find eggs and larvae and just an overall healthy frame set. All right, so we're going to take our top off here, similar as last time, except for I do have my hood on this time. Crack that open. Lots of bees there, that's a good sign. Let me grab my hive tool real quick. Don't really have any smoke in there, but maybe some of the scent is still there. All right, take off this inner cover. Once again, things are looking really good here. Got a little bit of comb there, I'm not going to worry about it. Set that to the side. We'll come over to this side. And we'll start with this outermost frame here. We're going to kind of follow the same thing that we did with that last one. We're going to slowly remove the frames, set several of them to the side. That'll help us find that queen, I think, a little easier. Let's take out this next frame here. This is one of the newer frames that was installed whenever we installed this hive. And they built it out really well. Hope you can see that. Actually got some capped honey there. It looks like the queen has laid some brood in here, so that's a good sign. This side isn't built out, but that's fine. All right, keep going. A lot of people have questioned why I'm wearing shorts while I'm doing a hive check. That's probably the wrong decision, but so far I've not been stung on my legs. I have been stung on the hand one time and on the ear one time, but not on the legs. So I guess until I get stung on the legs, I'm not worried about it. All right, this frame, we've got some capped brood, some larvae, some honey. On this side, lots of capped brood, some larvae in there as well, in multiple stages. Things look good there. This is another one I'm going to leave out though, so I want to try to find that queen. All right, next frame in. got larvae in multiple stages. So definitely got a queen laying in here. Got eggs. You know, I said that this hive is a little more rowdy. They were being pretty good today, honestly. It may be because it's overcast and not crazy warm. Same thing here. We've got a little bit of honey, lots of cat brood. So we've got lots of babies that will be born fairly soon. Same thing on this side. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again, but those are the things that you really want to see at this time of year. And same thing here. These are looking good. No signs of any swarm cells or anything like that. Just a healthy looking hive. I would expect to see the queen on one of the next couple of frames here. And if we don't see her, that's fine. This frame's got quite a bit of honey in it. But there again, cat brood. Eggs. Exactly what we want to see. No queen so far. I remember this queen was pretty good. It's pretty good at hiding though. And as Core David has said in the past, the queen likes to be in the dark and she likes to hide. So if we don't see her, that's one of the newer frames. We got some honey being drawn on there. That's a good sign. All right, we'll look at this one last frame. Wouldn't expect to see the queen on it. And we don't. The queen is probably down in the hive somewhere hiding. In fact, around that. This is their feeder frame. I don't see her hiding behind that, but we do have to give them some food because that frame is empty. Start putting these back in. We'll go back through it and just see if we can find her one last time. Again, this is one where I'm not worried about it because I do see plenty of eggs and cat brood and larvae. These bees are just such amazing little creatures. The amount of work that they do, the way that they do it so precisely. Wish you could hear. Actually, the neighbor's chickens are going kind of crazy right now, but I wish you could hear the inside of this hive. It sounds like a motor running, just buzzing with activity. Slowly putting these frames back together. Again, doing another check to see if we can find the mama in all her glory. Sometimes it's just amazing how you feel like you look at every frame, and even with my marked queens, still struggle with finding her sometimes. Last couple of frames here we'll check. Still not seeing mama, but that's okay. We're not gonna worry about it. There she is. I had actually taken her out. So she was actually on one of the first couple of frames that we pulled. Let's see. Hopefully you can see her. She's right in here. So she's doing her job. She's actually on one of these newer frames laying eggs, so that's a good sign. All right, that does it for this hive inspection. This jacket's hot. Things are looking amazing with both of these hives. Very happy with the way that they're doing. Glad that we got to see both queens. That's something I haven't been able to show on the channel yet, so I'm really excited that I got to show those, both of the queens there. And they're building out. The queens are laying like crazy. They just look very healthy. No signs of any mites. Everything is looking really good with this hive. Just a little early for them, I think. But the way things are looking, we'll have some really good blackberries in a couple of weeks. All right, I think that's about all right, we've completed our hive inspection. Again, everything's looking great with the bees. So let's do a little bit of tailgate talk. In our last segment, we talked about the farm and how we came up with the name Catalpa apiary and how my grandfather loved these trees and planted well over 100 of them on the property throughout the year. So when my grandfather bought this property, the house looked run down. It was, my grandparents talked about how you could see the dirt through the floorboards. In fact, I remember my grandfather talking about someone shooting a snake through the floorboards of the house. So the house was nothing more than a shack whenever they first bought it and lived here. They were not wealthy people at all. My grandmother also talks about back in the day, they would go and get water from the well, bring it in, and you had a dipper that everyone drank water from the dipper, and how at night the water froze in the bucket. That's how cold it was in the house. So they went through lots of hard times. Again, they weren't wealthy people, but they were strong people. They were strong in their faith. They were strong in their love for one another, their love for their family. And they were strong for the love of this property. And over the years, things have changed on the farm. A couple of years ago, we had a larger tornado come through that took out most of the catalpa trees on the property. We've still got a few remaining, and we're working on building those back up. That tornado did quite a bit of damage in this community. Did damage to the farmhouse. It did damage to my mom's house, my sister's house, my aunt's house, basically all the property around here. And there's still quite a bit of evidence left around to that tornado. So while things have changed on the property, so much has remained the same. It still feels like home. No matter where I've been, this is my home. No matter where I live, when my grandparents lived here, when my grandmother lived here, and now that my nephew is living here, this still feels like home, and it will always be my home. And I think my whole family would say the same thing, regardless of where they're at. This is their safe spot. This is where our family gathers on Friday nights and plays cards, or we sit around and talk and eat and laugh all the time. This is just our central gathering place, and through the years it's changed. You know, back a couple of years ago, we all came to my grandmother's house on Friday nights, and after her death, we started going to my aunt's house on Friday nights. But it's still here on the farm. This is kind of the heartbeat of our family. And I can't imagine a time that it wouldn't be. I've grown up here. I've rode my bike down this road a million times. Me and my sister used to have a playhouse over here in these woods. There's a creek down here that I've drank water from. Probably wouldn't now, but I have. Watched my grandparents grow gardens that were gorgeous, beautiful Bradley tomatoes, Silver Queen corn, okra, squash, Crowder peas. Some really good food came out off of this ground. So I hope you will continue to watch the channel as we kind of rediscover the land for ourselves. Again, we all grew up here. We saw the gardens. We saw the work that was done here. And we benefited from all of that. We experienced the love that came from this place. And now it's our turn to continue on that legacy. It's our turn to see what the next chapter of this property brings. So again, I hope you'll come along with me as we do that and experience what Catalpa Apiary and the Williams Family Farm has to offer through this channel. Have a good day.